What's going on? We back. It's the Boxing Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. One time for the one time we grinding, and we back with another installment. If you haven't heard our new installment, it's Forgotten Fighters. We go back and talk about fighters from the past and try to educate some of the guys, that's younger and guys that don't remember these fighters as well. And I'm learning things as I go about these fighters that I didn't know. So here we go. John Action David Jackson. Yes, John David Jackson that trained Sergey Kovalev and trains Clarissa Shields. He was a junior middleweight, and he got listed going as high as like heavyweight, but he made his bones at junior middleweight and middleweight. And, he won his first 20 fights, doing what he got to do. He from Denver, Colorado. So, only other fighter I know from Denver, Colorado, I think is Mile High Mike. It might be a few other people from up there. My uncle just passed. He was a cop towards Denver, Colorado, man. So, yeah. But, like I said, Southpaw could fight. Definitely could fight. And he won a WBO title. Defended it 6 times at junior middleweight. At that time, the WBO wasn't seen as a minor belt, but it wasn't seen what it is today. In 2006, the WBO belt became a requirement to be undisputed. That was just 12 years ago. So it was, remember James Toney saying, WBO belt, we don't even count that. That's what he told Nigel Benn and Chris Eubanks Sr. All right, he would defend that 6 times, and then he would just move up to middleweight, where I think he beat Sweet Reggie Johnson out of Houston, Texas, for the WBA belt. So he moved up before Reggie Johnson. Eventually, I think in 94, he got stripped of that belt for whatever reason, and then go into particulars why he was stripped into that belt. I'm pretty sure some of the brothers like Blood Boxing Return could tell you that. But he got stripped of that belt. Then he went up against Jorge Castro. And this dude, man, had over 144 fights in his career, man. 144 fights in his career. That's monstrous. And in that fight, John David Jackson was looking to have beat the hell out of Castro. He was beating the hell out of him, and Castro turned it around with a punch, and he ended up knocking out John David Jackson. I think it was in the 9th round. In the ring dubbed that the fight of the year. So he lost his belt to Jorge Castro, and he never got it back. He rematched Jorge Castro way down the line to try to get it back. It didn't work. He fought Bernard Hopkins for the IBF belt as well. And, after the Castro fight, man, and it just tells you the difference between, almost knocking somebody out and getting knocked out. And he never regained the world championship belt. But what you got to remember, too, about that situation is that John David Jackson was in an era where it wasn't easy to get a belt. You know what? They had real rankings. It was real fighters. You know what I'm saying? It was real fighters, man. The top 10 was real fighters, man. And you got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he didn't get 3 or 4 belts like it is today. They like Tic Tacs getting belts. You buy a pack, you get 3 or 4 with the pack. It wasn't all these fake belts around here. The fakest belt was the WBO, but it still was respected at the time. He dropped that to move up, and he got another belt. Sweet Reggie Johnson wasn't no hoe. He fought Roy Jones. He fought James Toney to a split decision. These was real fighters. You know what I'm saying? Reggie Johnson probably could be a world champion today at middleweight over some of these guys that's in there. And I was amazed that Jorge Castro had over 144 fights out of Argentina. That's amazing, bro. This wasn't the 60s or the 70s, man. This was the 80s to the 90s for this man. He had 144 fights. And you got Keith Thurman, that's 30, that barely even, I don't even think he got 30 fights. But for y'all that didn't know, John David Jackson could fucking fight. John David Jackson could throw down for the showdown, man. And, he retired in 99. So he was active from 84 to 99. He won 2 chips, the WBO junior middleweight. And at middleweight, he won. and eventually he did lose to Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins, I think, stopped him in the 7th round, and he fought 2 more years after that. I guess he tried his luck at light heavyweight. It didn't really turn out for him, and he turned off the lights, man. But go check out John David Jackson, and you'll definitely see he was a real good fighter. He's just not a trainer that's just talking shit. And he was a fighter that won world championships. He was on a world title level, elite level in boxing at 2 weight classes, all right? And also, he's a world-class trainer. Usually you see good world-class fighters don't be great trainers or good trainers, And he's kind of dispelling that notion. Usually trash fighters can articulate better as being trainers because they didn't really have the physical tools and they had to be more technical, or usually they could see the game better. And that's not just go for boxing. They go for basketball and stuff of that nature. Your average basketball coach was trash. But your Michael Jordans, your Kobe Bryants, they're not the greatest coaches, So, it is what it is, man. Forgotten fighters, hopefully I can squeeze one more of these in today, and I probably will. Appreciate all the brothers that's showing love for the forgotten fighters. Y'all go check out John David Jackson, Action Jackson, out of Denver, Colorado. He now resides in Los Angeles, it says. But, yeah, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All those links are in the description. Hit the drop-down box as well. And if you want to join the boycott spot, / classical review spots, we'll be streaming the whole Danny Garcia, Sean Porter fight. We probably going to be streaming the Anthony Joshua, Alexander Povetkin fight. Seems like the next fight we'll be streaming in there. So go ahead and add, request to join. I'll plug you right on in, or one of my men's will plug you in. And we're going to rock out. Also, we'll be streaming a classic fight today of my choice, and then I'll put a vote up after this. So go ahead and jump in there if you want to donate. The PayPal link is there, or you can donate through the Super Chats when we go live a little bit later today. And make sure you check us out at S1210 College Sports Most Wanted. I'll be dropping a Notre Dame, Michigan review, and we probably do a live stream over there reviewing college today or later on tonight. So much blessings to all the brothers in the LDBC. Y'all know what the business is. We gone.